Hello EdTech 400. I'm going to be presenting the side as to why cell phones should never be banned in schools. Cell phones in the classroom have gotten a bad rap in recent years, though when the pros and cons are weighed, it's clear that cell phones have a place. Some of the major points I will be speaking about in this video are how cell phones are a huge part of society and should not be forgotten about in our schools, the useful tools that are instantly available, and the inquiry benefits that they offer. Technology is always evolving, and we are living in a time where it has been more readily available than ever. Cell phones have the power of a personal computer in the palm of our hands. It will be a disservice to our students if we do not allow them to use them and dial in their skills in that area. One of the biggest arguments against allowing cell phones in the classroom is the management problems that comes with it. This is where I think we owe it to our students though. Teachers need to focus more on teaching students to use devices properly, as the benefits of doing so vastly outweigh the cost. Rather than trying to enforce a zero-tolerance rule, as many teachers have tried and failed, there are a few ways that you can adapt your classroom. One way could be having students place their cell phones face down on their desks during the school day. This is a best of both worlds situation, as students are within arm's reach if they need to look up something, and will be obvious if they are doing something they shouldn't be doing. Another option could be having a parking system in your classroom, where students need to place their cell phones into a velcroed space. This has been proven successful, as the cell phones are still there when the student needs it, though sneaking a peek comes with a huge Velcro sounding risk. Whichever way you choose to run your classroom, cell phones are not going anywhere. Students will always try to push the barrier, so it is in your best interest to find a way to be proactive rather than reactive. Furthermore, teaching students the responsibility of something so powerful is a skill they need for their future. It would be a tough sell to say their jobs will revolve around pencil and paper. With cell phones, students have instant access to online resources, which aids both the student and the teacher. During my internship, my co-op and I created a student resource for each unit that could be found on Google Classroom. This resource included all the important information that they would need to know in order to help them succeed. Students really picked up on this method, and it would not be uncommon for many students to have their cell phones open to that resource while they were working. Additionally, the online community that is created through the use of apps like Seesaw and Google Classroom become much more lively when students can go in and out automatically, instead of needing to wait for the laptop cart or for a Chromebook and boot it up. With this option, the flow of work handed out, handed in, feedback, and an open dialogue is much more natural. In addition, if students have a quick question, they can use their cell phones at home to ask it over the platform of their choosing, where the teacher will be notified with their device to respond right back to them. There's no more waiting until the next morning and finding out that your homework was done all wrong. Having cell phones nearby offers the students and the teacher the ability to question anything and everything. Some of the best conversations in the classroom come from a question that needed to be looked up. Again, during my internship, I've had the pleasure of being asked questions by students that I don't know the answer to, and it's always fun saying, "Look it up on your phone." 5 minutes later, I make sure to circle back, and the student is usually excited to share with me their newfound knowledge plus more. The excitement they usually have is much more satisfying than me point blank giving an answer. Lastly, cell phones are the perfect tool to use when it comes to inquiry-type projects like Genius Hour. Students may be working diligently, and out of nowhere they have a question or need to find a new resource, and in a flash they can find their answer. This may come in the form of videos, audiobooks, apps, etc. My point being that there is very little wasted time when opening a cell phone and doing a search versus having to find a laptop and logging in. Cell phones offer students so much when they can be taught to use them properly. When this happens, students will be better trained and will be more responsible when it comes to their professional lives. Next, the resources that students can access throughout the day and night has been proven to aid students when it comes to their learning. Not only is the information they need accessible anytime, they also have a community of peers that can support them along the way. Lastly, allowing students to use their cell phones in class allows for them to spontaneously research what they need to. This teaching method allows for students to learn about the way they learn, which is hugely important. Thank you very much for listening to my reasons as to why cell phones should never be banned in schools.